Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day, and today I'm so excited to jump into a draft of Secrets of Strixhaven. Let's go. All right, what are we looking at here? Okay, a rare in Boros. Flying Haste, discard a card, it gains a lifelink until end of turn. When one or more cards leave a graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. That seems powerful. Sure. So I don't know how good this card is yet. There is a question when you open a gold card about whether you should be pulled into that color pair, even though it's less likely that you're going to end up playing that specific pair of colors, or whether you should go with a less powerful card that it is more likely that you'll get to play. However, in this set, first of all, it's brand new, so I want to just try out the cards, especially cards that you're less likely to play. If I have an opportunity to play them, that means that I'm going to know how good they are sooner. And also the next most powerful cards in the pack are probably also gold cards that go in a specific archetype. So I'm going to take the Hardened Academic. We're not going to get married to Boros, but we'll just see. We will see. Also, the two next most powerful cards in the pack are also Boros cards. So, well, red cards. But okay, I'm definitely going to snap up this Hardened Academic. Seems like a good card. And if Boros is open, then I'll be very happy to be there. All right, what are we looking at here? So I actually think Group Project is probably quite good. Create a 2/2 red and white spirit creature token, and then you flash it back without having to pay mana by tapping creatures you control, and that triggers your things leaving the battlefield. It's 2/2/2s for 2 mana plus tapping some creatures. So yeah, very, very happy to take that one. Let's see, what else is there? There's a Last Gasp. There is, Environmental Scientist is a really good card. Maybe I'm actually just supposed to take the Environmental Scientist, to be honest. Apparently this card is like out of control. Okay, maybe I'll just take this card. When it enters, you search your library for a basic, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Yeah, in the spirit of not getting married to our first pick and trying to follow signals and just taking the best card, pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, regardless of the colors, and then figure out where you're supposed to be. Let's take the Environmental Scientist. I don't really know what signals are in this set yet. Maybe Group Project is even better than Environmental Scientist. I doubt it, but maybe this card ends up playing out amazingly. But I'm going to just do my very best to take the best card as I see it, and we'll see how that goes for me. Okay, well, immediately we get another Environmental Scientist. That seems pretty good. There's also Additive Evolution, which is good. This card is essentially a 4/4 for 5 that then you get to grow your creatures every turn. So this card's very good. There's also a Foolish Fate in the pack, which is a really pushed variant of the 3 mana black common or uncommon level destroy target creature spell, Murder. This is like a much better version of it. So that's really pushed as well. But I think I'm still an Environmental Scientist. 2/2 for 2, that when it enters, you get to find a land. That's also a very pushed version of, it's just so much better than like pretty much any comparable card we've seen at uncommon, certainly. All right, so I'm going to snap that up. I'm going to be happy with it. And hey, maybe we'll wheel, Additive Evolution or something. That would be a miracle. All right, what have we got in this pack? So I'm really not attached to any color at this point. Hop to It is very strong, right? So I could take Hop to It and kind of run the Boros deck against the Environmental Scientist deck. I doubt all of those cards would go in the same deck, but you're kind of running different options against each other. Aberrant Mana Worm, when you cast an instant or sorcery, gets plus X was 0, where X was the amount of mana spent to cast it. Yeah, 2/5 for 4 is a very hard sell for me. There's also Follow the Lumerets, which I tend to quite like. And there's the Boros Signpost Common. So do I just take a Boros card and run my two options against each other? I'm not going to play the Environmental Scientist in a Boros deck. I think Hop to It could be quite good. I'm not sure how it's going to play out in this format. In Bloomborough is great. Yeah, I'll speculate on Hop to It. I could end up playing white-green as well. Let's see. What have we got here? Wow, and now we're getting a Group Project. I don't know. Am I overestimating this card? I think this card's going to be very strong. There's also Homesickness, but green does seem to be drying up after our double Environmental Scientist. I think Group Project seems strong, doesn't it? It leaves the battlefield. Well, I guess you could just think like, oh, this is just a 2/2 for 2. But I don't know. The flashback seems really important. So Homesickness I also think is really good. Calamitous Tide. Draw 2 and stun 2 creatures. Yeah. Also, this card seemed really good to me. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature, return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Maybe I'm actually supposed to take this and play green-black with a little repartee, incidental repartee. I could be on any of the uncommons at this point, to be quite honest. But I'm going to take the Group Project, rather. Okay, well, now I'm not even sure. Okay, so we have a good removal spell. Honestly, Muse Seeker seems so strong. The thing about Muse Seeker is it's mainly for Prismari, but you could play it in a green-based deck, right? Could play green-blue with Muse Seeker. Also, Goblin Glassrite seems really good. but also for Prismari. And I like the Sneering Shade Rider quite a lot. I think I'll take the Muse Seeker here, and we're basically running red-white against green-blue. And we'll see what happens. I'll snap up the Muse Seeker, and we'll see what happens. Killian's Confidence. So now there's a white-black card. Okay, this draft is turning into a mess. I actually need to... This is a kind of a situation where you actually need to state a preference. Like, you just have to decide what you want to do. I mean, I could also postpone the decision with the Terramorphic Expanse, but it's like, I started out in Boros, started speculating on green, ended up looking into blue. Now there's white-black involved, and now I just have cards of every color. So maybe I wait for pack 2 to see what the signals are. I mean, each of these cards seems... Nothing seems like a power outlier here. So I'm going to take the Terramorphic Expanse. I think green is not it. I got 2 Environmental Scientists, but I think that looks like that was the main thing. This card, a 4-mana spell that doesn't affect the board. This is a hard sell for me as well. Render Speechless, so maybe white-black is most open, and then there's a Sign in Blood. Wow, what a mess. This is a tough draft here. I mean, I really don't want to play Borrowed Knowledge. I guess I'll just take the dual land. This is kind of a signal, I guess, that maybe green-black is more open, but I don't think so. Okay, Living History, Rehearsed Debater, and the Lorecaster, which I think could be perfectly fine. I think I'm going to take Living History. With these cards, this kind of makes me think, okay, maybe Boros is open after all. And then look, 0 red or white cards. What's going on at this table? I do think people are not passing me any cards that I consider good. I guess Zombify probably is not good in Contemporary Premier Draft. So this pays you off for having multiple of this card. This is the kind of a card that in like, you know, the 10th day of the format or you know, the 3rd week of the format, everyone's going to be like, oh, that card's actually awesome. But I'm going to need to be persuaded. And then I'll take a Potion Trove. Well, this is kind of a train wreck so far. Okay, now we get a Spirit Mascot. That's all I needed to know. So amid all of the mess, Boros actually is comparatively open. That's what I've learned. Oh, but now we get Moment of Reckoning, which I've seen this card. It seems absolutely deranged. Choose up to 4. Destroy target non-land permanent. Return a non-land permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, white-black did seem pretty open, and this card does seem ridiculously strong. I think this is worth speculating on. I know that we just learned that maybe Boros is the open color, but, you know, we got a pretty late form of Amity. We have a Terramorphic Expanse. Double Pip is pretty tough, but maybe we could be kind of a mid-range Mardu situation. I guess that could be good, right? Could be sort of mid-range Mardu. There's also End the Hunt. What would I take if I were just going Boros? I mean, I think Elite Interceptor is incredible. So I could just take the Elite Interceptor. I feel like that would be a bit of a hot take. I'm going to try to go for this Moment of Reckoning, and we'll see. We'll see. Pox Plague. I don't think I'm going to be Pox Plaguing. Maybe there's a way to be like a mono red deck. I do think the Spirit Call Enthusiast could be really good, but now there's a Studious first here. Yeah, because the signals were such a mess, now we're going to see messy stuff happening, coming back to us. But I kind of want to go for just... Also, Tester of the Tangential seems good, but I kind of feel like green was totally closed from the right. So why don't I take the person to my right passed me a Boros card, essentially last pick. So the safe place for me to be to set myself up for a good pack 3 is Boros, because that person very clearly said, if you're Boros, I'm not Boros, right? They clearly said, just go Boros. So I think I'm going to take that seriously. I could take a Molten Note here, or a Last Gasp, or a Foolish Fate. Last Gasp is so good. Molten Note. I feel like trading down on so much mana is not awesome. Should I just take Foolish Fate? This is probably just the best card in the pack. So I could end up being Mardu with my Form of Amity and Terramorphic Expanse. The thing is, like, Spirit Mascot is not good in a Mardu deck, is it? And now we get a Lorehold Charm from the left. What's this do? The next time a source of your choice would deal damage, prevent that damage, and then flip it back on the controller. Yeah, that's nothing, but we do have the Boros Charm. That's definitely something. I could take the Stone Docent to kind of continue straddling the boundary. It is a creature and straddles the boundary between Boros and Orzhov, but I think let's just take the Boros card. I think, all right, I'm just going to try to be really strict about following the signals here, but look at this. Now there's an Imperious Inkmage and a Bitter Triumph, but we also have a Boros land. This is a tough draft. Okay, well, one thing I know for sure is I'm not green-blue at this point. Those environmental scientists were false signals. I mean, little flags put up to lead me astray, lead me in the wrong direction. So I could take a last gasp. I could take an Imperisync Mage. I might just take Fields of Strife to just smooth my mana, postpone the decision a tiny little bit, and just smooth my mana out. Okay, Living History kind of looks like it is Boros after all. I think Boros is the safe place to be. I can always splash Foolish Fate in my Boros deck, but I think with Living History, I'm trying to build a highly aggressive Boros deck. Okay, all right. I think we finally have our decision midway through pack 2. Oh, I could take Ancestral Anger. There's also a Lecturing Scorn Mage. What a draft. Maybe I'll take the Eager Glyph Mage. I think this card's good. It's not like out of control, I don't think, the same way that like Preening Champion was. But with Spirit Call Enthusiast, if it does make a token, it has some synergies. So again, white is the safest color for me to be. Okay, Sneering Mage. There's a Repel Calamity. Power or toughness 4 or greater is pretty permissive. But I think I'll take the Spirit Call Enthusiast because it's synergistic. It's synergistic with my tokens. Oh, Elite Interceptor. I think this card is extremely good. It looks really, really, really good to me the way that it's been playing out. And we do get a Boros land. I hate sending that signal, but I really want the Elite Interceptor. The way this card has been playing out, and I'll take Honorbound Page, even though there's probably a better black card in the pack, but let's just try to be Boros. The thing that's so good about this card is like often it's an issue for you if you draw your 1-drop late in the game. This card, I wanted to draw it early in the game, obviously, but then I also wanted to draw it late in the game because it helps you push damage and also it replaces the draw. Like if I have 7 lands out, actually my favorite thing to top deck is going to be an Elite Interceptor, play the Rejoinder, push some damage, draw a card, and then maybe I get a 4-drop anyways. That's way better than just drawing the 4-drop. Okay, and we get a 3-1 for 2. I don't hate that. So now I'm just trying to be the most aggressive Boros deck you've ever seen. I think we finally figured out where to be. Wow. Following Signals is so tough on day 1 or day 2 of the format. And now I'll take the Boros card. Okay, so we're in the right kind of decision-making space. I'm going to go for Pursue the Past, even though I think Imperisync Mage is a better card. I'm going to go for Pursue the Past because, look, the person to my right very clearly showed me you're supposed to be Boros. So let's go ahead and just take them at their word for that signal that they sent. All right, and we get a last pick Plains. Okay, let's open an awesome Boros card, please. Oh, rats. Rats. Well, I would have liked to be able to play that. Okay, but what else are we going to take? I wonder if Primary Research can be good. How many ways do I have of making cards leave the graveyard? I mean, the Boros Signpost does that. I really want my cards to be leaving the graveyard. Should I just speculate on this? Pick 1 might be early for this card. I might be able to just wheel this, actually. So what else would I take? The Dromedary? Well, you want your enablers for leaving the graveyard before you want your payoffs. In general, in Magic, you want to take enablers before payoffs. So probably I'll take the Leave the Graveyard enabler. I already have a payoff for leaving the graveyard, and I'm sure there will be more to come. A Johnny's Response is a good one as well, so maybe that's actually the pick I'm supposed to take, but let's speculate on this Dromedary. I like the idea of being able to have things leave the graveyard in my Leaving the Graveyard build-around deck. Speaking of which, Rabble-Rouser, happy to snap that guy up. Magus of the Library, oh, that's so cool. Library of Alexandria on a creature. So how much value can I get from flickering my creatures? How many prepared creatures do I have is the question. Really not that many. Really not that many prepared creatures, to be honest. So I don't think Daydream is going to be worth it for me. I could take the Ancestral Anger. Maybe I should have taken the last Ancestral Anger. I would not be surprised if that card is quite good. The thing is, it's anti-synergistic with things leaving the graveyard. Oh, I'll take another hop to it. Now I really want ways of boosting my team, ways of rewarding myself for going wide. But I'll definitely take the hop to it over the Dromedary. But yeah, now I really want things that pay me off for going wide. That's what I'm looking for now. Spirit Call Enthusiast, well, this pays me off for having tokens and also really rewards me for going wide. So I feel like Spirit Call Enthusiast and hop to it is a very nice synergy that they put in the set. Now we are seeing some green cards, but I mean, it makes sense that the same players who pass me Environmental Scientist would also pass me Studious First Year, so not too much of a shock right there. Go ahead and just snap up the Spirit Call Enthusiast. I am an enthusiast for that card in this situation, at least, where I have tons of token makers. Yes, okay. Thank goodness. We land a Relic Sloth. And good, the people who pass me Boros cards have not sabotaged me. They're continuing to pass me Boros cards. That's what matters. I would love to see like a bunch more elite interceptors as long as they're passing me all the white aggro. That would be very beautiful indeed. Yes, I was hoping I would see this card, Duty Beyond Death, with double hop to it, plus living history, plus group project, etc., etc. But especially with the double hop to it, the idea of being able to sack a creature and put a counter on everything seems really good to me. So I'm really happy to see Duty Beyond Death. I'm not saying this is a good card in general, but in this situation, I think this is going to be awesome. Just given the other cards that I have. So maybe here I'm supposed to take a Molten Note, but you know what? I just want the Spirit Mascot. I don't have that many ways of cards leaving the graveyard, which is a little bit of an issue for me. But I have Stone Docent, I have Group Project, I have Rabble Rouser, I have Summon Dromedary, and I have the Relic Sloth. So, well, it's not too bad. If you can just pump this guy once and he's a 3/3 for 2, that's like awesome. Then you're really happy. And am I on 16 lands? Yeah, probably. So I want a few more playbills. Yes, this is called reading signals, my friends. Being past all this Boros goodness, pick 8, that is because I read the signals that people were not picking Boros. They passed me a last pick Boros card. I said, okay, I'll go Boros. So, okay, mill card, put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature and it gains trample. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's the best Boros card there. And we actually wield the primary research as I hoped and predicted. So we're going to go for 25 cards, and this is my deck, and I'll play 16 lands. But now we get a Lorehold Charm. There wasn't the other Ancestral Anger was in a different pack. Here's the Last Gasp. So it makes sense that we were kind of split. Oh yeah, Lorehold Charm also pays me off for the hop to it. Kind of wish I'd gotten one more hop to it, but that's okay. So basically, that's an easy way that you can improve. Oh, nice, Rabble Rouser. If you're not doing it already, then I would say it's definitely worth, that's just a simple way in a new set to get your bearings. It's worth checking, did someone pass me a gold card last pick? Even if it's a pretty bad gold card, that strongly suspects the people immediately next to you are not in that color pair. And it makes sense that we were split between Boros and black-white. I think I'll play 2 of these guys, not 3, because that's actually what people were not playing at the table. Like, near me at the table, people were not playing Boros and black-white, it seems. So it was hard to decide which way to go. And I think I went in the correct direction. I think black-white was a little bit more contested, at least pack 1. So I'll do, I don't know, I have so many gold cards. Actually, maybe I don't want to go 16 lands. Although I also have the Rabble Rousers. So maybe I cut a mountain, play the Rabble Rousers. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, that seems good. It's a highly aggressive deck. I think this is a deck where I can play primary research. I don't think I want another Rabble Rouser. These guys get way worse in duplicates, I'm assuming. Do I want to play the Honor Bound Page over something? Maybe it's better than primary research, but I want to try out primary research. If primary research can be good, this will be a deck for it. So, all right, 16 lands, highly aggressive Boros deck. Let's just see how it goes. I feel very good that I read the signals. Now the only question is, was my card evaluation actually accurate, right? So was I picking the right cards while reading signals? And can a aggressive Boros deck actually get there without, I don't have like banger power. I guess I have 1 rare in the deck. So this is pretty much your standard issue Boros aggro for Secrets of Strixhaven. And now we're going to learn, can it actually get there? So when you attack, if a card left your graveyard this turn, target attacking creature gets +2/+0. I think I'll just play this one first because technically it gives me maybe a little bit more opportunity. I really do want to play Group Project or Living History after Spirit Call Enthusiast, and I think I'd rather play the token make right to prepare it. I think I'd rather play the token maker that is going to have an effect potentially. So then I'll go ahead and I'll play this because then I can play the Eager Glyph Mage. Actually, I didn't even need to hold back Group Project because I can play Eager Glyph Mage on 4 and prepare my Spirit Call Enthusiast. And I'm just beating down. Yeah, like hop to it can flash back the Group Project entirely on its own, right? You can do that kind of a cool thing. So I think this is a good card. I think it's going to be not that hard to activate. I think it's going to be a very good card, actually. That's my prediction. The floor is not that bad, and the ceiling is really good. So I'll go ahead and play Eager Glyph Mage, make a token. I guess I should have attacked first, to be quite honest. All right, prepare my guy. I'm not going to attack with it because it's prepared now. And I'll just go in with this. Unfortunately, you can't flash it back as an instant, so you can't do your like leaving the graveyard stuff as an instant with group project. Dismember on Spirit Call Enthusiast. Wow, okay. Paying a lot of life though. I don't hate that they did that. I know Dismember is like played in Vintage Cube because it's technically 1 mana interaction, but paying that much life in a Premier Draft, that is just a lot of life. I'll just say that. But okay. Okay, so now I cannot re-prepare that guy because he actually straight up died, but I can play another copy of him. Would I rather just play the Rabble Rouser though? Probably, get on my mana. So let's start by attacking with a Glyph Mage, because I'm going to have a 1/4 as a blocker. Kind of looks like they have something here. And they're low. They're much, much lower than I am. Yeah, looks like they have something. I'm not sure what it might be. I can just straight up discard the group project, actually. Is that worth doing? Pitch the group project. But am I really going to flash it back? Maybe I pitch the other Rubble Rouser. Sorry, I've been saying Rabble Rouser. I mean Rubble Rouser. Youch, but that kind of sucked because I really want to play group project after Spirit Call Enthusiast. But you know, I can always just flash it back. So let's go ahead and do this now. I think it's better to just be fast. So what do you have? You have some Burst Lightning or something? That would be really awkward. Burst Lightning my 1/1. Wow, Burst Lightning on the 1/1. They're just spending all their removal. Okay, that's really interesting. I wonder what's going on here. Burst Lightning on the 1/1. That's so aggressive. What are they trying to clear the way for? So now Rubble Rouser is going to let me start attacking for 4 power. Oh, you have something that brings things back from the graveyard? Really? No, they must be thinking of exiling something from the graveyard. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, that's what they were doing. Okay, I guess maybe they didn't want me chump blocking in the air or something, but I'm pretty sure I am the beatdown here. Because look, I can go Rubble Rouser, exile a card from the graveyard. Well, it's a little awkward, but Rubble Rouser, exile the other Rubble Rouser, I guess. Deal 1 to the opponent. I'll go ahead and play this guy while I have the extra mana. Now, I could flashback group project if I wanted to, but I think I just want to keep the beatdown rolling. So let's go in with this guy, and maybe I also attack with the Glyph Mage, actually. Sounds right. Because, again, I think I'm the beatdown. Give this guy +2/+0. If I deal 7 to them, I'm feeling pretty good. Okay, now these blocks make sense to me. Bonk, bonk. These blocks make sense to me. And then I think I actually do just play the land. Do I? No, because No, I already played my other Rubble Rouser. So I unfortunately cannot flashback the Spirit Call Enthusiast any longer. Or flashback the group project any longer. But if I get another creature, I can. Ugh, until they drew that, I was straight up just beating down with my 3/3, but they had to go ahead and draw this giant guy. Oh, okay, all right. So that's pretty sweet. So I go ahead and play Living History. This guy becomes prepared. I can just play the prepared spell. The thing is, well, they would have to draw an instant or sorcery straight up off the top. So I don't think I'm playing scared around that. So let's go ahead and buff these guys. Unfortunately, I can't have something leave the graveyard. So technically what I could do is I could scroll boost on Spirit Call Enthusiast, make something leave the graveyard, and attack them for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's actually lethal. I force them to chump block. So yes, I want to do that. So I force this to leave. So I ping them, have something leave the graveyard, scroll boost to the Enthusiast, and sure, also scroll boost this guy or whatever. Attack with the Enthusiast, a card left the graveyard. So it gets a +2 and +2, which is exactly a lethal attack. So they have to chump. All right, feeling good about that. Now I guess I will just play my land out, actually. I kind of want to be surveilling. Oh, another relevant card off the top. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This opponent has some pretty good draws, and I have no such luck. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to do the same exact thing. I will exile the Glyph Mage from the graveyard. Unfortunately, I can't also... well, I guess I could give both of these creatures +2, but that doesn't really make sense. I'm just going to go in for the maximum of damage here, right? But I can't also give +2 to force a chump. But I think they have to block no matter what. So let's go ahead and surveil right now, I guess. Well, it doesn't really matter, but... Pursue the Past. Okay. Yeah. Put that in the graveyard. That's a good one. Next, attack with both. And then I'll give this guy +2. And then if I give this +2 again, they'll just block it. But I'd rather they not block my Spirit Call Enthusiast. So yeah, let's give this one +6 to strongly encourage them to block that one. The random little token. Awesome. Or to make them dead in 2 turns to my Rubble Rouser. Yeah, okay, I like that trade. Now the only thing is they do get to just be looping that guy. I hold this back because of Pursue the Past. Awkward situation. Okay, the opponent decided finally that they're willing to grace me with not drawing, but actually drawing the land was great for them here because then they can just bring this back and play it in the same turn. Yeah, I guess it makes sense that they're still very aggressively playing. Oh, I can hop to it. So is hop to it worth doing? Basically, I would hop to it. I would prepare my Spirit Call Enthusiast. I would be able to give... Oh, I could flashback with Group Project as well if I want to get my Living History online and attack with both. And that's lethal. So I play the hop to it first off. Play the hop to it. I'm going to flash this back. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm liking the synergies in my deck quite a lot. This creature becomes prepared. I am going to scroll boost, giving both of these guys +2, and now they're both lethal attackers. Next, in with both. Yeah, we got there. We got there. We had some awkward draws, but we did finally manage to convert. So I probably should have been... It was a good thing that I was holding a land in my hand because I have the Boros, the card that pilfers, Relive the Past or whatever. It's not Relive the Past, but whatever that card is. Pursue the Past. Okay, so now do I want another land? I was kind of thinking maybe I do, but at the end I felt very flooded, so I'm going to say no. Do I want another Rubble Rouser? That card was so good. Maybe not. I feel like my deck was just awesome. Maybe rather than summon Dromedary, I should play Rubble Rouser. I would not... I was happy to pitch the second Rubble Rouser, though. I would not have wanted to draw another one, so I'm happy I didn't have both of them sitting around. They're very redundant with each other, you know? I am really liking this format. It's super fun. Suddenly, I'm an aggro player. Me, an aggro player. If you do want to get better at this format along with me, make sure you're subscribed to my channel on YouTube. One thing I'm going to be doing as the format evolves is this kind of data deep dive video that you can see I've done many, many versions of. The data are going to soon stabilize in this format. And so we are going to have insights on how to win more, you know, what to do well based on what's working well for other people. Just the empirics on how to do well in this format. We don't have that right now. There are kind of worse ways to read the data and there are better ways to read the data. And I've thought a lot about how to do it correctly. So definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel. I post a new draft every day, and you'll especially want to have those data deep dives in your feed when we get to Arena Direct weekend, which is not too far away, and we have the opportunity to win a box. All right, so take the damage here. I'll be playing Spirit Call Enthusiast into Eager Glyph Mage. The Glyph Mage gives me a 1/1 that can block the Stone Docent. If necessary, I can also pitch Pursue the Past. I keep calling it Relive the Past. I wish I had Relive the Past, more powerful card from a past set. I can always pitch that to give this lifelink if I want to. And I might get pretty low here, so that might be necessary because I am taking quite a beat down from the Stone Docent, but I still think it's worth just playing it out like this. I don't really want to pitch Pursue the Past yet. And Stone Docent hopefully holds back the Melancholic Poet. I got on to 14, and then Eager Glyph Mage is going to turn online the ability to buff my Hardened Academic, which seems good for me because that could let me gain a lot of life at some point in the future. So I'll just go ahead and play this guy. So now I have my 1/3 online to block their Stone Docent, and I think Eager Glyph Mage will not hesitate to trade with the Dromedary, even though they can always loop it and keep recasting it. I can't just be taking 4 damage every turn. Okay. Oh, they're killing the Spirit Call Enthusiast, not the Hardened Academic. Now that's really interesting. Kind of wonder why. I lose 3 life as well because of Melancholic Poet. That's a very nice little synergy for them. Well, I'm definitely going to block that. I mean, yes, technically it gives them value, but I do not think I have the option of just taking 4 Vigilance every single turn. Yeah, I'm in a really tough spot now. This is really bad for me. This is really bad for me. Okay, my turn. So what I can do is I can bring a permanent with mana value 3 or less from my graveyard to the battlefield, which would be a Spirit Call Enthusiast. That means that something left the battlefield, left the graveyard this turn. So why don't I go ahead and do that? I'll play Primary Research, and then I get to draw my card back. So I think this is good. Primary Research seems good. I'm kind of surprised that this card wheeled. I'll put the counter on the Hardened Academic. I will attack with just a Hardened Academic because the 1/1 will block the Stone Docent if need be. And then I'm actually going to pitch Pursue the Past just to give this guy lifelink because I think I kind of want to just get my life back, you know? And it does give me the opportunity. I'm about to draw a card anyways, and it gives me the opportunity to trigger leaving the graveyard again. All right, so if they attack with this, yeah, I'm just going to snap block with my 1/1, even though it's a flyer and that's not, and this gives value from the graveyard. I still think it's important to do. If they want to be playing their Dromedary, that's kind of sad for me in terms of a value perspective, but I'm now getting tons of value as well, right? So I'm going to go to my turn. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play a Plains. I'm going to play Living History, make it 2/2. Actually, first, I'm going to Pursue the Past, just in case this changes my mind about anything, although I'm strongly suspecting that it won't. Put a counter on the Hardened Academic, which I think is a pretty good card. Still kind of surprised that they didn't kill that one, because, like, look at what it's about to do. I think killing Hardened Academic is something you want to be doing whenever you have the opportunity. So in with the Hardened Academic, give it +2, discard a card from my hand, give it lifelink, crack in for 6 lifelink. That's a 12-point life swing, 12 life point swing. That's pretty strong, right? That's pretty strong. And then I draw a card. Yeah, all right, don't hate it. And let's see if they have an answer for it, because it's actually a lethal attacker next turn, and they didn't seem to have an answer for it last turn. Actually, they could drain me, and then it's not lethal. Yeah, I mean, might just trade here. They can only pump it once. I'm at 21, so now I'm feeling very differently about this Dromedary. I think I can take the Dromedary damage, and that's all right. I just feel like, you know, that 2/2 token's really not doing that much, is it? Antiquity's on the loose. What a card to have. And they can also gain 2 that way, yeah. So they had multiple ways of gaining life to get out of the situation. However, Scroll Boost is now going to make Hardened Academic a lethal attacker, right? Actually, do I have a way of getting something out of the graveyard? Maybe I don't this time. Okay, never mind. Never mind. It's actually not lethal. It's only 6 damage. Unless I find a way to remove something from the graveyard. And I have multiple draws that could do that. So we'll see. Lorehold Charm. Can you bring something out of the graveyard? Yes. Okay, so we have a lethal attack, right? Do I have something in my graveyard that's eligible? Eager Glyph Mage? No. And it can also give +1/+1 from my graveyard to the battlefield. Artifact or creature? Dang it. Oh, man. That's sad. Oh, and if I could discard a card, if I could discard something into my graveyard to Hardened Academic, then I could bring it back to trigger Living History. Life is Pain. Oh, wait, they're at 10. Never mind. Where did they get the extra 2 life from? They triggered something at the... Oh, they had another Stone Docent in the yard. Okay, so I'm not even... Okay, so creatures I control getting +1/+1 and trample seems good, though. So let's see if we can make that into a lethal attack. That seems worth trying. So I'll give these guys trample. In with these 2. Go to blockers. So I'll discard the Plains, I guess. I definitely do want to get lifelink. And then there's absolutely no reason to play my Lorehold Charm here, apparently. Because if I do, we're still just straight up trading. I don't even have like lifelink or anything. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Oh, man. I wish the Charm had been able to bring something out of my graveyard. That would have been nice. Because now I don't even get to draw anything off of the primary research either. Oh, that's a little rough. I'm going to play out this card because I don't think the lifelink is that relevant anymore. Unless we get back into a racing situation, and that's hopefully like a ways in the future if it does happen. We'll see. Maybe they have a Johnny's response here. They weren't able to flash back their Antiquities on the loose, but they're dead on board anyways. All right, we got there. Hardened Academic, yeah. So I think, you know, it's early in the set. Absolutely no disrespect to the opponent whatsoever. But I do think killing the Hardened Academic, like we just learned a lesson basically from that game, which is if you can kill Hardened Academic, kill Hardened Academic. I don't think I would have won without the Hardened Academic because it, like the 12 life points, you know, that was really important. All right, 2-0, on to the next one. All right, it's a good hand, right? I was thinking it's not a good hand until I finally saw Spirit Mascot, and then I was like, okay, whew, I have my 2-drop. I have my 2-drop. Hard to complain too much when you have your 2-drop, isn't it, folks? In Magic, in Limited at least. All right, down comes Spirit Mascot. Then I'm going to play Spirit Call Enthusiast. Then I'm going to pursue the pass and just hope to draw something good, to be quite honest. Or are we going to get shot? Impractical joke. Well, that's a pretty impractical joke. All right, well, at least it didn't hit my Spirit Call Enthusiast. They traded up on mana, but they didn't use their other mana, so that's something to watch with this card. Technically trades up on mana, but might not actually help you be more mana efficient. Oh, that's rather annoying. Okay, well, play the mountain. I'll attack. Oh, I should have done the beginning of combat thing. My bad. My bad. Should have played this first. The thing is, I actually snuck through 3 damage, so maybe this was better. Because if I'm going to sneak through damage, I have to have cards up to kind of represent that I'm potentially going to play a pump spell or a combat trick. So now the opponent has me pegged for having some kind of pump. So it's actually hard for them to commit to blockers now. Okay, so I can play the Stone Docent. That's kind of nice. I think we'll start out with a Pursue the Pass. I don't think Fields of Strife is super important for me. So I'll go ahead and pitch the Fields of Strife, draw 2 cards. Ugh, okay. Youch. A little unfortunate. Let's see. Now, they might just double block my Spirit Call Enthusiast. So I think it's time to give up the bluff. I think I'll just attack with the Relic Sloth. But hey, maybe now they won't expect Duty Beyond Death. All right, go ahead and play Stone Docent. Yeah, the 2 lands was a little rough. Not what I was looking for. Not what I was looking for, to be quite honest with you. All right, down comes an island. They can Wild Idea if they want to, and then this gets Double Strike. Artistic Process, and this gets +1 and Double Strike, and this gets also +1. Are they the beatdown after all this? Yeah, it's a little rough. All right, hoping to draw some more gas now. Well, I'll certainly just take that. I'm certainly not going to chump block. I would love a hop to it. That would be best case scenario for me, because then I could push with everything, prepare this guy. Hop to it would be the best card to get. Oh, wow, another land. Okay, well, you can't really have draws like this and win. But, okay, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands. So I have 6 lands left out of 24 cards. Yeah, we had many opportunities to win this game, but I think I can feel it slipping away from my fingers. I mean, what was that? Did I just draw 5 lanes in a row? I think I drew 5 lanes in a row. Yeah, not really going to be able to win with draws like that. So it happens. It's Magic cards. Just click through a bunch of them doing crazy stuff and go on to the next one. Maybe by some miracle, is hop to it still something that can win for us? Almost certainly not. One objection to the dynamics that play out in this format, which I do love. I'm liking the format very much, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2 to 10, 6 non-lands and 10 lands. It just takes forever for the opponent to take over and kill me, but I already know I've lost. All right, they have Vibrant Outburst, kill the Spirit Call Enthusiast. I could sacrifice it to give everything indestructible, but I somehow think that's not the thing to do. All right, I'm going to take 11 damage here. Lorehold Charm, so I can bring back Spirit Mascot, and then it gets a +1/+1 counter. It's worth a try, right? All right. No, it doesn't. It's not like end of your turn, it gets a +1/+1 counter. I have no attacks. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, they cast Unsubtle Mockery, kill this guy. They're cracking in for 5 here. I'll let it happen. Yeah, definitely Duty Beyond Death could have been a much better draw. So maybe this is a knock against playing the Duty Beyond Death. I think it's awesomely synergistic with some of my cards, but let's just go on to the next one. I don't think I don't think there's anything we can draw here that's going to rescue this situation. All right, hopefully less flood next time. 2-1. Hoping for that 3rd and that 4th win to make my gems back. Better luck next time. Whenever you flood out like that, a good thing to ask yourself is, are there more ways that I could play card advantage or card selection in this archetype? Maybe there's like a Surveil card. Maybe that 2/3 that Surveils could be a good thing to run. Do I run this? I have a 2-drop into a 3-drop. I was thinking maybe like, yeah, the number of gold cards means that maybe you shouldn't keep this kind of hand. Let's give it one more test. I tend to think This just seems like a good hand, right? So I think I just keep it. Usually in most sets, there we go. You would keep a hand that goes 2-drop into 3-drop. All right, another Prismari match. Let's see if we can get the better of them this time. I am learning about how Prismari beats Boros, so this is nice. All right. Oh, hop to it. That's a pretty sweet one. So I'll attack with... I'll play the Rubble Rouser, I think. I kind of like the idea of doing some living history stuff. I think it's better to have the Rubble Rouser here. Pitch the Mountain to get a card in my graveyard. I could have pitched Pursue the Past for value as well. It's possible that was the correct thing to do. Now I can play 2 living histories, buff my Spirit Mascot, and attack for 7? And ping them for 1? No, don't kill my Rubble Rouser, please. I hope they don't interact with my stuff, because I have a pretty sick next turn lined up. I could also, to make use of the 1 mana, I could hop to it as well as play a living history. That might be better. No. Oh, that's so rude of you. At least Pursue the Past lets me take things out of the graveyard. But yeah, that's rough. That really disrupts my plans, doesn't it? So I think playing the land was important. Maybe I just run out another Spirit Mascot and a living history. The other option is Pursue the Past, pitch, let's say, living history, and then I play the Spirit Mascot and I'm setting up to pull things out of the graveyard. Maybe I actually pitch Hop to it. Actually, Hop to it is a lot of action. Oh, I can't do that and play the Spirit Mascot, so I think that makes that line a little bit worse. So let's do the living history thing. I think going wide against the opponent seems like it's probably going to be a good move, and I'd rather not throw away a card that actually has action to my Pursue the Past. I'd rather throw away a land. I think my resources are going to be really important here. Okay, so now I really want cards to leave the graveyard so that I can try to beat down. Potioner's Trove seems like it's going to be such a good tool for this kind of a deck to beat my kind of deck. I really need to get things online here. I really need to get things online. I have them... They're at a high life total. I'm not getting essentially any... Oh, it's nice that this can hit a token. I'm not getting essentially any damage in. I'm not getting essentially any synergy online. So it's looking really rough for me. I'll play the Earglyph Mage, and we're in a very, very bad spot now. I'm definitely way behind, because they're just going to get more and more and more winning as the game goes on. And my synergies, maybe I didn't put good enough synergies in my deck, because Pursue the Past is not doing it for me to bring things out of the graveyard. What does this do? Activate only? Okay, yeah. So this really just adds mana. Okay, so they've got some more splashing online, I suppose. Okay, Spirit Call Enthusiast could be quite a good one. So let's attack with this. I mean, Spirit Call Enthusiast allows me to get use out of my hop to it, but that's a very slow game plan. I kind of want to play the Pursue the Past, pitch the Spirit Mascot, and at least be able to rip things out of the graveyard. And if I draw a Plains, then I can play one of my other cards as well. So I think it's worth doing. They may have a counter spell. That's really annoying. Stress Stream. Okay, well, that's all right. So I'll pitch my other Spirit Mascot, I think. And I really want to draw Plains, please. Thank you. That's awesome. I like that. Oh, I could just play Hardened Academic now. I think let's go for the Enthusiast, though. The mana efficient thing seems way more important here. All right. And they cannot tap their Potioner's Trove to gain a life. Should they have tapped the loot so that they would be able to gain a life off of the Potioner's Trove? I think so. I think the auto tapper maybe betrayed them there. They would rather have tapped the loot and then had the Potioner's Trove untapped to gain life, I believe. I think that's legal and probably what they would have preferred to happen. But yeah, I assume I'm in big trouble now. What do you do? Wow. You just make a million XXs? Yeah, that seems pretty good. No, I just wasn't able to get my synergies online when it mattered. 3 damage to every creature. Okay, it's GG. Well, this draft really turned on us. I thought for sure I had a deck that was pretty good, but it's not even close. The last 2 games have been not even close. So I guess it's just a much worse aggro deck than I thought I had built. But it's not quite over yet. I mean, it's basically over, but I at least have Flying Haste. I can attack with both of these creatures. They can make a bunch of XXs. I guess the thing is, if I can somehow manage to activate my living histories, I am representing a bunch of damage in the air. The thing is, all they need is like a few instants and sorceries, and they're just gaining a bunch of life, and they can make massive creatures on the ground. At least I can chump block their creatures, right? But all they need is to... They're also looting every turn. All they need is to just find essentially any removal or flying interaction. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I think I'll hop to it. I think I'll do the hop to it thing. The other thing I could do is get my living histories online. That could also be quite good. Okay, maybe that's better. Maybe that's better. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. Put a counter on this guy, even though it's the one that doesn't have lifelink. I think I really want to spread the love here. Draw 2. Okay. All right. Sure. Next. Attack, attack. Technically, I could also attack with the Spirit Call Enthusiast. I highly doubt they're going to block, but hold on. They can do this at any time. So no, they're just going to make a massive creature at the end of my turn. All right. Well, because they're going to make a massive creature, I'm going to put these two on this guy. And I'm just going to put all my eggs in that basket. I'm going to pitch my mountain. And if they have a removal spell, they have a removal spell. But I suspect they're going to make like a 7/7 or whatever. So I think I want to have as much HP as possible. Okay, well, let's see if they have an answer. They're going to make a huge creature, and then do they have a removal spell for Hardened Academic? If not, I'm representing lethal damage in the air. Well, it's not quite lethal if they manage to... At least this doesn't have trample, so hop to it can chump it. If they manage to play an instant or sorcery, they can gain life. All right, we'll just take the 12. Gives them another opportunity to draw an answer. Their deck is sweet. I'm jealous. That's the kind of deck I like to play a lot. All right, take the damage. And let's see. Let's see if they found it. They had many, many draws, so I'm definitely assuming that they did. Sleight of hand. Another chance to find an answer, and they get to gain 2 life, going to 6. Yeah, I need more leaving the graveyard synergies, but at least this was a... And they found their answer. Awesome. Okay. At least this was a much closer game. At least this was a much closer game. I'm also glad that I spread the love here. Now, if I can somehow miraculously have a card leave the graveyard, and if they did not draw another answer, okay, I could just also just draw land. Then I actually would be able to win right here. But no, we gave them too many chances. All right. Well, I'll just give this one +2. I don't have anything leaving the graveyard. Well, this was a close game of Magic. It was an interesting one. Dang. And then they get to make another massive creature. Well, let's see. I don't think they have... So they can attack, but they can't let me get in more damage. I don't know. Maybe they're out of gas. Why don't I just dream that maybe they're out of gas? Wouldn't that be lovely? If they were out of gas, that would be very wonderful. Okay, I'll take the 4 and I'll chump block the 8/8. They get to loot as well. I have no doubt they have an instant or sorcery now that they can gain life with. Yeah, I love the Potioner's Trove. I think this card's as good as I expected it would be, which is very good. At least Berta can't make net 1 blocker. It has to tap down to make them another blocker. Yeah, so I expect they get to go up to 4. I don't have that many cards that I can just run out and immediately exile something from my graveyard. Make 2 3/3s with flying. Oh, that's so awesome that you can do that. I'll see another draw, but that's it. That's the game. Yeah, I just couldn't get my synergies online. And I also kind of ran out of gas, but of course the opponent's drawing a million cards, so it makes sense that they would kind of get more options than me in the long run. Dang, 2-0 into 0-2. That's really painful. What can I do differently? Feels like my deck is suddenly just bad. Should I go down to 15 lands? That doesn't sound right. Yeah, I just can't beat Prismari decks, apparently. That sounds wrong. Like, shouldn't I be... Maybe I do want another Rebel Rouser because when it gets removed, it's so bad. Maybe that instead of a Spirit Call Enthusiast to get more of my synergies happening. Yeah, actually, that sounds... But then am I just going to run out of gas? Well, no, because having a Rebel Rouser at the end there would have let me deal 2 extra damage. So yeah, maybe that's correct. Up 1 Rebel Rouser, down 1 random 3/3. It could be. Dang. Okay, I mean, I really like this hand. Definitely. I might run out Kirill first before Hardened Academic, just to try to eat some removal. I guess I want more cards with flashback, perhaps. Yeah, Living History really wants cards leaving the graveyard. No surprises there. Okay, this card has flashback, so that's cool. All right, I think for the sake of mana efficiency, I'm just going to go ahead and run out a hop to it here. Lorehold Charm is pretty nice with the hop to it, so... Yeah, I definitely don't think I'm supposed to be on 16 lands. Another Potioner's Trove. Ugh. This card, I think this card is so good. Okay. That could just be my biases speaking, but I think it's really good. So I'm just going to go ahead and just try to absolutely beat down. They may have some kind of board wipe or something, but I don't think it's really my business to do to play around that. So I'm going to go ahead and play a Living History. Just because I'm just trying to run everything out, basically. I just want it to be as fast as possible. Okay, they have a removal spell for the Hardened Academic. Wow, they had a Burst Lightning off of their, like, 1 mana. Okay, all right. Good for them. Yeah, good for them. I cannot make anything... Oh, you know what? I can bring back Hardened Academic with the Lorehold Charm. That's pretty sweet. That should be pretty sweet. And hopefully we're just beating down at that point. So bring back the Academic. Is this actually good, though? Would I rather just give everything +1 and trample? Honestly, that might be better. They're holding something up here. Do I care about this being prepared? Let's try discarding the Stone Docent first off. See what we get. Okay, so I could also... Okay, this is awesome. Now I get to play this, remove the Stone Docent from my graveyard. This guy becomes prepared, and Living History is going to buff something. You seem to have a kill spell, if I'm reading things correctly. I like Rebel Rouser here, because it can deal damage. It can deal damage. In with everybody, and I'll buff some random 1/1. Basically, it can deal damage without needing to actually land a hit. Deduce. Okay, phew. I was scared that it was going to be like something else. Okay. Block this guy. Don't mind if you do. Everyone gets +1 and trample. I was scared that it was going to be something that affects the board. Bonk, 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 bonk. Push you to 2. All right. Now let's see if we can get there. Hopefully they don't have a board wipe. Okay. All right. Well, we kind of recovered. Yeah. We kind of recovered. Does not feel nearly as smooth as the aggro deck that I went 7-0 with yesterday. Feels like the synergies in Silverclaw were just a lot easier for me to activate than the synergies in Boros. What's this one called again? I'm so bad at the fancy names. Lorehold. Maybe I want an honor bound page instead of the Rebel Rouser. What do we think about that? Basically, just getting a little bit more gas and a little bit more evasion. Feels like maybe I would have won the last game if I had just a little bit more evasion. Or 2 games ago, you know what I mean? It is less synergistic though, so... No, I think I want this synergy piece. Yeah. And like Rebel Rouser seemed good there. All right, well, we're at 3 wins. Look, 4 wins, and you've made your gems back. I never complain when I hit 4 wins. It's not a trophy, but I would really like the next win. Just get my gems back. I feel like this deck is has a good shot. And like, let's not forget, this was a really difficult draft, right? Like, I was really, really struggling to figure out whether white-black or white-red was the more open lane. And in the end, it turns out like kind of both were equally open from both sides. I had slightly more powerful white-black cards, but I had slightly clearer signals that I should be white-red. Really curious what people think about how you would have navigated this draft. For me, this was a tough one. Okay, we have the same exact question. I feel like this time I'm gonna mull it. I think that hand did not go up to the level that I would want. And I'll probably cut or drop the Duty Beyond Death here. Oh, we have such a fast start, but we're on the draw. And the opponent also has such a fast start. Okay, all right. Play the Elite Interceptor. Mythic number 1567 is not what you want to see when you're just absolutely slugging it out to be allowed to continue to play in the event. But we get to learn something about the format. That's the nice thing about playing top ranked players. All right, yeah, I was not going to chump block and just lose my guy. And in with the Hardened Academic. And turns out I'm the beatdown. You thought you were the beatdown? I am the beatdown. All right, and if they kill my Hardened Academic, I can Lorehold Charm it back. Awkwardly, we have 3 red and only 1 white. We are playing a dual land in our deck, but on 16 lands, I think with the way the hand smoother works, I think it's more likely that you do get mana screwed. And we have opportunities to draw cards and stuff. I mean, I would love to be able to double spell with these two because they're synergized with each other. Not surprisingly, they're designed to synergize with each other. So I'll play Spirit Mascot next turn, almost certainly. Grave Researcher. So this is the card, yeah. This card is extremely strong. It has Reanimate as just a thing it gets to do. But you need to have 3 or more creatures in your graveyard to do it. So I think I'm going to go ahead, play the Spirit Mascot. Yeah, awkward times ahead, folks. Having the 4 red sources makes this a little tough for me. I don't think I'm going to pitch the Mountain just yet. I'd rather get more lifelink out of this, and I'm not too worried about Hardened Academic dying, knock on wood, because I have Lorehold Charm to bring it back. But yeah, I probably do want to have more interaction. Okay, so this is a point in its favor. Top-ranked players are playing this card. I thought this card was good, right? I think this card is good. It just helps you push damage. The issue with these 4 and 5 drops with no protection ability and no ETB, okay, is that they can be killed, right? They can be killed before they get to do their thing. This takes a whole turn cycle to get to do its thing, so very vulnerable to removal. All right, pass and go to my turn. They might attack, but I don't think they will. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, I definitely think I'm the beatdown, so that's interesting to me. I guess they don't really want to block with this. That makes sense. They don't really want to block with this guy. Oh my goodness. At least it's a plains? I mean, holy cow. Not much to say about this at this point. Okay, Startled Relic Sloth is actually very synergistic with my cards. So I can attack with everything, and then I can buff everything to get 3, 6, 7, 8 damage through. I kind of want to do that when it's lethal, honestly. I wish I'd drawn things in a different order so that I could just play the Relic Sloth here. Youch. I mean, it's like almost lethal damage if I can... Basically, I attack with everything. The Hardened Academic puts a +1/+1 counter on itself. The issue is I really want the Lorehold Charm to be able to bring... Oh no, it doesn't put a counter because nothing's leaving the graveyard. Sorry, never mind. Okay, so I'm just going to attack with the team. I think it's that simple. Oh, do they have something to do at instant speed? That would be really bad for me. But I do want the lifelink because I think they're trying to beat down right now. So yeah, I can't play Lorehold Charm and also get to bring back my Hardened Academic if they kill it. Okay, they wanted to draw whatever that is. Yeah, Grave Researcher is so good. I do really like having access to the Lorehold Charm here. Being able to bring back my Hardened Academic if it dies. Because that's kind of like multiple damage in the air out of nowhere. Killian's Confidence. Yeah, that's a good card. Their plan is all in on just Grave Researcher as a beatdown. They don't even care about the ability, just the stats. Yeah, I clearly don't have enough interaction. But I am supposed to be a highly aggressive deck, so I guess actually I'm just going toe for toe. One aggro deck against another. All right, you get to bring it back. That's fine. The more that you do that, I think the happier I am. The more mana you spend and turns you spend not affecting the board, the happier I am. Hardened Academic. Okay, yes. Okay, this is kind of what I was not hoping for, but it's fine by me, basically. So I think I do just bring it back and attack with everything again. Maybe I don't attack with the Spirit Mascot this time. The other option is just Lorehold Charm giving trample, and then I would deal 4 damage to them. I think I want the Academic back. I think that's probably worth doing. So bring back the Academic. I will go in with the team, even though their Death Toucher can block me. I think it's worth it to just push the extra 1 damage. Is it? No, why don't I keep Spirit Mascot back and just offer the trade of Elite Interceptor, which they probably don't want to do. All right, yeah, I'll just go in with the Academic and the Elite Interceptor. I don't really want to trade off my 3/3 for their 1/1 right now. Now, they can just not attack me with Grave Researcher. But hopefully Hop to It is pretty good. I put Duty Beyond on the bottom, unfortunately. That would be a really nice one to have right now. So now, hopefully, playing the Relic Sloth, removing something from my graveyard, and then I can put a counter on some random thing and a counter on the Spirit Mascot, and it can attack. Maybe that's going to be good. I can actually potentially remove 2 cards from the graveyard. No, I can't. Never mind. Killian's Confidence again. No, that's perfectly fine. That's not scary to me, at least. Are they just digging for a creature? They haven't been able to put a creature in the graveyard. It's interesting, but they have been surveilling to the top. Now, do I just take this? Almost certainly, yeah. I'm about to play a lifelinker. I don't know what pump spells there are or what, but I think just taking this is correct. Also because I even have a lifelinker right now. You can bring that back and recast it if you want to. That's fine by me. I'm representing near lethal. Like, you block my 2/2. I'm actually representing lethal on the board right now. Okay, so we can reason this out. Yeah, so basically, I play the Relic Sloth. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I play the Relic Sloth. I put a counter on a random... I could put a counter on my flyer. I put a counter on my flyer. They block a 3/3 and they block a 1/1 and they take 5 going to 1. Dang. Dang. Well, I definitely want to target my graveyard. Yeah. So I can put it on the flyer, and I have the option of doing lifelink by pitching Kirill, which might just be a good idea, honestly. I can, if I put it on the 2/2, they are forced to block the 2/2 and trade off their creature. So I think that's actually good. So in with the team, they take 4. The question is, do I actually pitch the Kirill or not? I'm kind of inclined to. I don't know how I can take 4 damage out of nowhere. I don't really want to have to block the Grave Researcher, though. So I think I do actually gain... I think Kirill is maybe worth less than... Well, no, because... Oh, yeah, it's going to become prepared at the start of my next turn. Okay, they just decided to... Okay, well, then I'm definitely going to pitch the Kirill and just gain some lifelink here. So maybe I was supposed to put the counter on Hardened Academic, but I feel better having my threats spread out now, and I think I just made myself hard to kill. Like, technically, they could have a removal spell, and then +1, and that gives them evasion. So maybe I was supposed to put the counter on the Academic, actually. Oh, do I just die to... If they can kill my Relic Sloth? Oh, I didn't think about that. I needed one more... Okay, and they gain flying. Oh, what a game. Yeah, so I actually die. Exactly. I should have put the counter on the Hardened Academic to gain one more in lifelink. No, because they still could have played this, right? They still actually could have played their +1/+1 and they still would have killed me. Okay. All right, so actually that didn't lose the game. I should have put the counter on the flyer, but it didn't lose the game. Wow. I'm extremely disappointed. Yeah, I'm extremely disappointed. I mean, it was a really tough draft, but given how smoothly our deck won the first 2 games, we pretty much lost the next game to Flood. We drew like 10 lands, 6 non-lands, so you can't really win in that situation. The next game after that, I just couldn't get my synergies online, but I actually think I have a lot of the synergy enablers. So I don't necessarily think it was, I don't want to overlearn that lesson, let's say, because I do have a bunch of these enablers. When you really get down to it, I have like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ways of enabling, but maybe that's a lesson. Maybe we want more than 9 ways of enabling, 10 ways of enabling. No, okay, let's not overlearn that lesson. I think I just didn't draw my enablers. And then that last game was a really good, tight game of Magic. I guess the other thing is I kept falling to Prismari decks. So getting flooded against the Prismari decks is extra bad, I guess. I don't think I was supposed to be on 15 lands though. But maybe that Owl or whatever, one of those cards that does a little bit of surveilling would have been good to have. So I don't know, maybe Rapier Wit. No, but you're not really supposed to play terrible draw spells to try to draw more than a Prismari opponent. Well, it was a really tough draft because the signals were just extremely messy. I did my best to follow them. I think I ended up rewarded with a pretty good deck, but I think that in gameplay, you know, we fell in some pretty tight kind of toe-for-toe battles, and also just some kind of runs of bad luck against opponents who were able to capitalize on it. But we got really close to, in one of the games I lost, it was Flood. The other game I lost, the second game I lost, I got really close to killing the opponent, but they just had enough life gain with that little Trove card, which I still think is really good, this little Trove, to like just stay alive. This was the difference between living and dying for them. So we got really close and we didn't quite get there. And then that last game, of course, was really tight, really tough Magic. And I was just 1 life point away from surviving, or if I'd been able to draw 1 more damage, like maybe if I'd ever found like a Rabble Rouser in that game. So not where I want to be. Would much rather be making my gems back on draft number 2 of the format, but you know what? It wasn't a complete disaster, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be back to posting some more 7.0s for you. But this was definitely a learning experience, and you know what? We're all here to learn and get better every day. So until tomorrow, have tons of fun playing Magic, and don't be afraid to splash.